Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another top 10 video on my top 10 best Marvel Legends of 2021. Try to pick up your Marvel Legends, you can do so at
Big! Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
Right down there, I ask you to please hit that like button, and if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And these are not my top 10 figures, these are all runner-ups or honorable mentions that I wanted to talk about quickly before we get into the top 10. My favorite of the runner-ups, I would say my number 11 figure of the year is the Zombie Captain America figure. I love this piece. The sculpt, the articulation, the paint detail, and everything on this figure is just absolutely stunning. It's hard to imagine that there were 10 other figures that I picked above this one. I really like it a lot. You may be wondering to yourself, what the hell is she doing here? She was part of the runner-ups of the top 10 worst Marvel Legends of 2021. And I still love this figure. She's got the double jointed elbows. I'm so stoked to see that, and kind of feels like it was for me. I know it wasn't like made for me, but like in my own mind, I'm like, oh god, I'm so happy to have that. I love this Moira McTaggart figure. It was hard to not put her on the top 10. I love the interchangeable parts and everything. The 2-in-1 feature is great. Psycho Man is amazing. Same thing with Red Skull. Lady Deathstrike, they just killed it. Mark III Iron Man is awesome, but there's a whole bunch of things that bothered me with that figure. Those shoulder joints, or moving those shoulder joints around, that's a bit frustrating. I really dig the Hercules figure a lot, and the Armadillo Build-A-Figure. Thanos I picked up very early in 2021, and that figure kept on giving. I was able to find more range of movement with it, so I really love that figure. Love the Cyber figure. Wish he came with interchangeable hands. The Quicksilver is really badass. He almost made the top 10. This Venom over here, I don't feel like it deserved to be on the top 10 at all, just because it's not like exactly how I would hope this Venom would look with this body mold. It's got the whole, you know, animated series gimmick thing going on, and they didn't figure out a way to plug in those holes, so I don't think it deserved to be on the top 10, but it did surprise me as far as how much fun I was able to have with it. Really do like that figure a lot. Anyway, let's get on with this top 10 list and get on with number 10. Oh, it was so hard to put this figure at the bottom of the list, but at number 10, I am giving it to Ultron. I love this Ultron figure. I think it is the best Ultron figure ever made. It is the definitive Ultron figure for me. I love the head sculpt, and I love that you could put on the other head sculpt that came with, I can't remember which figure had this one right here with the glowing eyes, but that fits on there very well, and I have that Kirby Crackle effect in his mouth, and I love the silver paint on it. It is just amazing. It's just a very pleasing figure to hold and pose around with all of that bright silver. But all of that bright silver is also why it's at the bottom of the list, just because there's not a whole lot of variation to look at. But that's just the nature of the character, and it definitely had to be on my top 10 list. And at the number 9 spot, I'm giving it to the Disney Plus Waves Scarlet Witch from WandaVision, and oh my god, this figure is just absolutely stunning. I love the delicate beauty of this figure. I love the head sculpt, just, oh man, it looks great, and even though it is a bit inaccurate, that's I guess one reason why it got knocked down the list, I still love this figure. It's my favorite Scarlet Witch Disney Plus figure. I mean, there's not a lot of them out there, but yeah, I just absolutely love this piece. It's a lot of fun to play with. I love the interchangeable hands and everything, and I don't know, it's just a remarkable piece to look at. It's just really beautiful, and I love the posability. Even though she doesn't have double jointed elbows, that still bums me out, but still a great figure, and I had to add her to my top 10 list. And at the number 8 spot, I am giving it to the Age of Apocalypse Wave 2 Colossus Build-A-Figure. This thing is so cool. I love all the sculpted detail, the gunmetal gray throughout. You guys know I love the gunmetal gray, and this is just covered in it, and it's just a remarkable piece. I like the articulation a lot. You get double jointed elbows on the big bulky figure, even though it only meets at the 90-degree mark still. I really love this piece. I guess one downside of it is that it can get a little bit finicky, you know, with the suspender, or I mean, those aren't suspenders. I don't know what the hell that is, the yellow parts right there, but that could get a little finicky, I guess. But aside from that, this is just a magnificent piece. Oh, I do have an issue with the right upper thigh. Thank you so much, my friend Mr. Duran, for, you know, letting me know that his figure came out just fine with the right thigh over there. So yeah, mine, you know, I may need to replace that right leg, but I still love the figure, and I still had to put it on my top 10 list of 2021. And at number 7, I am giving it to the Deluxe MODOK, and this figure really impressed me. I was not excited for it. Like, I just thought to myself, okay, cool, Hasbro has to make their own version, sure, that makes sense, but I like my Toy Biz one just fine. No need for a new version, probably just review it and put it aside and use it for comparisons later on, but nope, it has replaced my Toy Biz figure, and I just love the sculpted details throughout on it. I love the paint apps. I love the feature where you could hide the extra face. I think that is just absolutely brilliant, and it's a figure that impressed me when I didn't think I was going to be impressed, so it really shocked me, and I'm very happy to have it on the shelf. Also, it is larger than the Toy Biz version, and it has just a much grander presence. And then the Elvis MODOKs, I really love those too. I still need to get one more. If anyone has one for sale, I'll buy it off you so I can get 3 Elvis MODOKs. But yeah, I didn't expect to like this figure as much as I do, and I'm just really impressed with it, and it had to be in the top 10 list. And at the number 6 spot, we have the URSA Major Build-A-Figure. Again, a very difficult figure to put this low on the list. I absolutely love this piece. I have an extra one so I could make my Grizzly figure. I still need to paint that head sculpt. I bought some a pre-made head sculpt for a Grizzly, so I got to work on that. But this right here, just on its own, is an amazing figure. I love the sculpt of it. I love the paint detail. The articulation is okay, and that's probably the biggest downside for me, is that there are parts that look really blocky in the joints. Like, I don't know, there's just some parts that stand out to me and kind of take me out of the figure for a minute and think like, oh, that looks weird. But you know what, man? It's still an awesome looking piece. I really love the head sculpt, and it's just a great addition to the collection, especially because he's helping complete a team. So that really means a lot to me also, and I had to put him in the top 10 list. And at the number 5 spot, I'm giving it to the Modular Iron Man figure. Holy crap, this figure delivered. We've been wanting Hasbro to make a Modular Iron Man for a very, very long time, and they did not disappoint us with this figure. It comes with all the accessories that I wanted to see, and I love the sculpt of it and the details of it and the paints. Oh my god, I love the vibrant gold that we're seeing throughout over here. The metallic red looks great. The only downside, really, in my opinion, is that you can see the swirly marbling in some of the red, especially on the chest, and that kind of annoys me. Another thing, it would be cool to see another version of this with a little bit more saturated yellow colors and red, you know what I mean? Kind of mimicking the cartoon a little bit, but at the same time, this is the version that I would rather see, and I'm just really stoked to have it, that it's actually been made. I also wanted to give another honorable mention to the Riri Williams figure. I didn't mention her earlier, but I really like this one a lot too. But yeah, this guy right over here, he had to be in the top 10 list. And at the number 4 spot, I'm giving it to the Gamerverse Miles Morales figure. This is my favorite 6.5-inch figure of the year from Marvel Legends, and they just absolutely killed it with this figure. It comes with all the accessories that I was really hoping it would come with. Even though I'm not a big fan of the unmasked head sculpt, I'm still glad it comes with that head sculpt. I prefer the disc hinge over the ball joint, but I still think that you get a great range of movement with that head sculpt, and my complaints with this are incredibly minimal. It's just an outstanding piece. The sculpted detail, the precision of the paint with the cobweb pattern is just awesome, and while it's just mostly a black figure, it still has a lot of detail in there that just really makes it pop, and I like the interchangeable hands. Just an absolutely stunning piece. I feel like they just really hit the mark as far as what a 6-inch Marvel Legend figure should be, and I absolutely love this piece. It made the number 4 spot, but as far as 6-inch or 6.5-inch scale figures go from Marvel Legends, this is number 1. And the number 3 spot goes to the 2-pack Ironmonger figure. Holy crap, this piece is just always amazing to pick up for me. I always get impressed by it every time. You can see, you know, these pins come out on me, you know, so that doesn't really even bother me so much because it has the articulation that I want. And getting this kind of articulation on a big bulky quote-unquote robot figure, or a mech anyway. It just really impresses me. I love how the paint apps came out over here. It's just a really stunning piece. There's a couple of details that I wish it had, like maybe some blue paint for the eyes and the arc reactor and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a couple of little things that I wish that were done just a little differently, but this thing impressed the hell out of me. I love this frickin' figure, and it made the number 3 spot on my top 10 list. And at the number 2 spot, I am giving it to the Thor Ragnarok Surtur. Oh my god, I love this figure. Every time I pick it up, I am just impressed by it. I love the paint detail. I love seeing that yellow and orange fade in and out, and then you have the burnt parts all the way throughout on the figure. The translucent plastic is just absolutely stunning on this piece. I just love the way it looks, and I love the articulation on the figure, except for one thing, which is the right shoulder gets stuck with a little bit of extra plastic over there, which really frustrates the hell out of me. I wish it wasn't like that. But aside from that one issue, this is an incredible piece. I really like it a lot. Some may say that it should have been bigger. I'm happy with the size of this figure. And then yeah, he's got the one sword and everything. This is just an incredible piece. I love this figure so damn much. It's also a figure that I've been asking for a very, very long time, that I was a little bit, I was a little skeptical that Hasbro was actually going to do it. Then another bonus thing, the real reason why it's so high on the list, the bare patas. Yeah, he's got the bare patas going on. That's not really it, but as I was putting it over here on the rotating base, I was thinking, oh yeah, he's got bare patas too. But anyway, let's move on to the number 1 Marvel Legends figure of the year. And at number 1, you knew it was going to be the HasLab Sentinel. However, you didn't know how many I had. And yeah, the answer is 3. I love all 4 head sculpts. I almost wish I could get a 4th one just to have a master mold. But man, I really think Hasbro nailed it with this figure. The whole knee and lack of ratchets, yeah, I totally agree. They should have done that. However, it's not as big of an issue as it really is. I think it's one of those things where a lot of spectator collectors really wanted to complain about it, but if you actually get the figure in hand, now I did tighten the joints on this one right over here, but on these two, no. And I haven't had any fall over on me. It hasn't really been an issue, man. My bigger gripe is more ankle pivot movement. I wish he had more ankle pivot, but I still love the figure a lot. I'm a sucker for my giant robots. I've always loved Sentinel action figures. The Toy Biz Sentinel has been my favorite Marvel Legend for a very long time. And this one right here, I think it's taken its place. The details throughout. There's not one limb or one area of this figure that has some nice robotic sculpted detail on it. I love how all the cables came out. I like how they mixed in some yellow, red, and blue wires throughout on the figure. All the accessories. I mean, we got so many accessories with this figure. Hasbro kept on giving us more. We got the 2 tentacles. We have the bonus figures with extra heads, the 4 head sculpts that come with this thing. It's just an awesome figure, and I've had so much fun with it. I like the light up feature. Wish it had sounds, but dude, I am just so blown away by this piece. This may be the best HasLab project out at the moment. I really think it is, and I absolutely love this figure. An incredible piece. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, show some love to the channel by simply clicking that like button, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And this was actually a very good year for Marvel Legends. I do remember us getting more letdowns, or 2021 was a good year for Legends, I'm trying to say, because we're already in 2022. But yeah, 2021 had a bunch of letdowns. However, making this video right here reminded me of all the figures that I really appreciated and really enjoyed throughout the year. I mean, some of them I got more recently, of course, but dude, these are great figures. I am very happy with them, and I think Hasbro did a great job. I cannot wait for what we're going to see in 2022. I'm hoping for a lot of Spider-Man. Come on, Hasbro, you gotta give us a whole bunch of Spider-Man. And by the way, the Sentinel standing behind all of these figures is one without the tightened knees. And again, I'm risking all of my favorite figures over here having this Sentinel right on top or right behind all of them, so it's not going to fall over. I feel pretty good about it. Even if I punch the floor like that, Oh, there goes Iron Man. See, these guys fell over, but not the Sentinel. So it's doing pretty good, man. I really think the whole thing is kind of blown out of proportion. Still wish it had better ankle pivot, though. I will say that for sure. But yeah, I want to know what your top 10 figures are. Please let me know in the comment section below. If I read your list, I will give it a heart. And I also want to know, what figures did I miss? Like, what are some figures that I did not talk about? I tried to cover all the best ones of the year, so I may have missed some. And forgive me if I missed your favorite figure. So I want to know which ones I may have missed, but I think I covered all the ones that we really needed to talk about. And then some figures that I got in 2021 that I didn't talk about. I did have the 3-pack X-Force set, and I will save that for my 2022 top 10 list because I haven't reviewed them in 2021 at all. So these are all based off of figures that I reviewed in 2021. Anyway, I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comments section below, and stay tuned for more videos coming your way. Happy New Year, and I will catch you guys later. Peace. Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't. Your face.